Hello, Soden Bowl. Welcome to SBN. I'm your host, S. Soden. Tonight we are going to have a special episode playoff edition. The SBSL is in playoff mode. We are in week 16 so far, and the season's just about over. I have my playoff predictions. Um, they may or may not be right. It's kind of a matchup prediction here. I'm not going to call the game on who I think is going to win. I'm just going to show you who's playing each other and what I think the strong points of each team is. Before I do that, though, I want to go over the first playoff position is going to be the wild card weekend. So with that said, I'm going to take a look at who our number one, number two seed is from the AFC and the NFC. So currently, my number one seed is the Jacksonville Jaguars in the AFC at 12-3. The Alpha Heel 7 doing a fantastic job with that Jaguars team. I mean, the roster, he did trade some stars away, and yet what he's done with that Jacksonville team, being in the same division as You're Blessed, Hall of Fame owner You're Blessed, and just being able to pull this division out away from him. Now, UB did have, he did lose Andrew Luck for a while there, but regardless, the Jaguars are playing phenomenal. I played them. They lit up. I gave up the most points all season. I gave up 20 points to the Jaguars. He could really do whatever he wanted to do against the number one defense in the league. So to me, the Jaguars are the number one seed in the AFC, and I think the front runner for the Super Bowl in the AFC. My number two seed in the AFC is the Miami Dolphins, Mr. Witness, at 11-4. He's done a good job of taking control of that AFC East. He's played really, really good down the stretch. He has what it takes to win a championship. I really think that the Miami Dolphins and the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think we can see a traditional 1 versus 2 seed. I do have a sleeper that is going to be a 3 seed. I think that he is going to go in there, and we'll go over those in a minute. But I want to look at the NFC for a second here. So, NFC. My number one seed in the NFC is Taco. Taco is 11-3 with the Seattle Seahawks. Again, he's got the elite skills to win a Super Bowl. And then my number two seed. My number two seed is what I think the best defense in the league, aside from the Denver Broncos. I really think that this Chicago Bears defense, it may not have the stats that the Broncos have, but it has the ability to win football games against elite players. So Crowd Pleaser 90 and his Bears are currently the number two seed. They are both tied at 11-3. So week 17, I don't know if they're going to sit people. I don't know if it really matters, but these two teams are playing lights out. If these two could play in the Super Bowl, if it was possible, it would be a very, very good Super Bowl between Taco and Crowd Pleaser 90. So those are my four teams that will receive a first round bye. So I don't have any game information for them. So let's move on here. So moving on to my first. This is my first potential playoff matchup. I have the number 3 seeded Raiders and the number 6 seeded Broncos here. So the Broncos are 9-6. The Raiders are 11-4. The Raiders did sweep the Broncos on the season series. One game was extremely close with Denver controlling most of the game, and then the Raiders pulled it out in the end. The second game was a blowout. The Raiders absolutely blew the doors off the Broncos defense, and had it not been for a disconnected halftime, that Denver defense would probably still be giving up points right now. So hats off to NFC Shockwave, who is, I got to tell you, man, this guy can bomb the football. Ask the guys in the chat, some of the guys I spoke to in private. This guy can throw. Looking at him, Derek Carr, he's got 36. He's probably going to go over 4,000 yards. Probably close to about 37 touchdowns on the season. Yeah, who's at wide receiver for Oakland? Yeah. Who's the running back? Yeah. Logan, 1125 total combined yards. So when you look at these running backs, guys, these are total combined yards. So this is receiving and running, and the same with the touchdown category. So looking at this Raiders offense, they really could have 3 1,000-yard receivers on this team, and that's really unheard of for a sim league. It's not like he's going to one guy. I mean, this offense is spread out, and if you're going to play up in the box, he's going to score a touchdown on you. So my suggestion, if you play these Raiders, well, I play them potentially next. It depends. For the Broncos to move on, they're going to have to win. I'm going to have to win my Week 17 game. And maybe have a little bit of help. I'm not quite sure yet. Depends what happens at the end of 16. But if you're going to stop this Raiders offense, you absolutely have to keep a safety back, maybe 2, maybe 4 safeties back. I don't know. This guy, he'll go over the top on you, and he'll score points. He'll get yards in bunches. Yeah, Logan's a good running back out of the backfield. He has big play potential. He can score from anywhere on the field at any time. And then Conley on defense, 8 interceptions, 36 tackles. Watch out, because he does get turnovers. That's a deadly combination with great offense and then getting the turnovers. He's ranked number 3 in offense and number 5 in defense. So top 10 in both categories. Yeah, I would say that this, going back to what I said before, this is probably my sleeper team here, the 3rd seed Raiders, to kind of go into either Jacksonville or Miami and play for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Looking at the Broncos team here, the rookie quarterback Steedham, he leads the league in passer rating and completion percentage. And he's having a pretty good season for a rookie quarterback. Now, mind you, he didn't play for the first 3 or 4 games. That was Kaiser who took over, and Kaiser just was god-awful. Steedham comes in, he wins 75% of his games. He's probably going to throw for over 3,000 yards, 20 TDs, only 6 interceptions. So a fantastic year for the rookie. Lindsey is just the heartbeat of that Broncos offense. He has 1,494 combined yards. He is over 1,000 yards running. He does have 12 combined touchdowns. He is a factor out of the backfield, a lot like James White out of New England. He can get over that middle. He can really make you pay on the edge. So if you're going to blitz this young quarterback Steedham, you got to pick up Lindsey out of the backfield, or he's going to kill you. And then the addition of Rob Gronkowski at tight end has really propelled this Broncos offense out of the cellar, because the Broncos offense before the Galladay and Gronkowski trade, they were dead last. Now they're up to number 18 in team offense. So big improvement. I think the rookie quarterback had a lot to do with that, and Rob Gronkowski, his ability to block and get downfield. And then looking at this, you got Galladay. Galladay is only 3 yards away from a 1,000-yard season, and he does have 8 touchdowns. And then Cyprian's having a great year at safety, 26 tackles, 7 interceptions. He's making a lot of plays deep down the field. This Broncos defense, the top-rated defense in the league, only allowing 8 points per game, challenges a lot of teams to go over the top on them. And that means that their safeties, Cyprian has to play really good, and Weddle on the other side. They have to play good football, and they are, except when they play the Raiders. Now, the Raiders have put up, almost 300 yards of offense in Game 2. They were held to under 100 yards in Game 1, but just a good job here. So this would be my wild card weekend kickoff game here. The 11-4 Raiders hosting the 9-6 Denver Broncos as it stands right now. Now, obviously, we have one more week to go. So looking at my next game, my next matchup in the AFC is the Colts. The Colts versus the Steelers. Now, You're Blessed has struggled as of late. He really got dominated by the Jaguars. Jacksonville took control of the division. Just a great job here. You're Blessed is playing with his backup quarterback with Brissett. He did lose Andrew Luck, so you can see Brissett now is his leading passer. He's 9-6 on the season. Brissett's thrown for 2,100 yards, only 10 touchdowns. He does throw a lot of interceptions. Here's my weakness for the Colts. UB, if you're listening, you got to run the football, dude. you're going to have to. Mac with 394 yards and 6 touchdowns is not getting it done. I know you have another running back there. He's got roughly around 300 yards still. That's only 600 yards on the ground. If you're playing with a backup quarterback, you got to slow the game down and just help him out a bit. Dorsett's having a fantastic year. 1,120 yards receiving, the speedster with 10 touchdowns. This might be the fastest offense in Soden Bowl or Sim League. Between him or maybe the Raiders. And then Love, 41 tackles, 5 picks. He's doing good. The Colts, this is odd for a Your Blessed coach team. He's ranked 25th in offense. That tells me he's got injuries, and he's probably got some holes maybe on the offensive line. He just needs to do better. And I know UB can appreciate that because he takes criticism better than anybody in the league. So UB got to do better on the offense, my friend. Defense, the Colts are ranked number 6. Now, if you would have told me going into the season that a Your Blessed coach team would be 6th ranked in defense, I tell you he may be undefeated because he's just that good on offense. So he needs to pick it up on offense. Can he get it done? Sure. Absolutely. He's got to win his last game of the year. Then, he's going to have to go into Pittsburgh. Now, this Pittsburgh Steelers owner, Just Bueno, he went to the Super Bowl in Soden Bowl, and he lost. But this dude can bring it. He has some serious skills. He's got a very, very good Steelers team. He's got the rookie lock. He has been splitting off and on with Big Ben, and now he went to the rookie lock. Lock has 1,889 yards and 16 touchdowns. He's playing good football, much like Steedham is, and Murray with the Dolphins. You look at this Steelers team, they do have James Conner. Conner's combined 1,674. He's a 1,000-yard back with about 400 yards receiving out of the backfield, 17 touchdowns. This just in, if you play the Steelers, watch out for Conner, guys. I'm talking to you, AFC North. He, walked through you guys. You got Brown, superstar wide receiver Brown, 936 yards. He's probably going to go over 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. It's interesting to see what the Steelers do with him in the offseason. And then you have Ryan Shazier. Now, I know Shazier in real life, he had the horrible injury. In this year, we decided to keep him in the game and just utilize his abilities. And Justu Bueno has really done a good job of honoring Shazier. He's got 52 tackles, 10 interceptions. So watch out. Justu Bueno can intercept the ball. He's a very good lurking player. So you're blessed if you're playing him. Round 1, wild card weekend, watch where Shazier goes. Get him out of position. Don't challenge him. Try to make him move and throw away from him. That would be my best advice. Looking at this Steelers team, like I said, they've really dominated that AFC North. The Steelers have the number 1 offense. Go figure. Look at James Conner right up there. Almost 1,700 yards of offense from your running back. And that is not just running yards. That's combined receiving yards. He's doing it both ways. Conner is a bruiser. So you get Conner out there and he's able to get his hands on the football. He's going to break some tackles. And then the Steelers defense ranked number 13. That is a good number. It's not in the top 10, but when you own the number 1 offense and you can get into that 13 slot on defense, that means you're making teams punt at least a few times a game, and you're giving that number 1 offense a chance to score points. So that's the recipe for success. So my wild card weekend game number 2 in the AFC East, or the AFC, I'm sorry, features the 10-5 Steelers hosting the 9-6 Indianapolis Colts. So the Steelers would technically be the 4 seed, and then the Colts would be the 5 seed. Now, the Broncos are technically ranked ahead of the Colts via head-to-head. The Broncos beat the Colts, but I think the Broncos have a tougher matchup in Week 17 than the Colts. So we're going to see what's going to happen with that. Just my prediction, I'll always take somebody else over myself. So you're blessed. Shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs are 8-6. They play the Detroit Lions. Now that's Coach Phil. Phil's off and on sometimes. He can play really good, and other times he can play down to his opponents. So, Coach Phil, need a win here, buddy. But seriously, Coach swing on these, his Kansas City Chiefs. He owns the season series versus the Broncos, 2 very close games. He won off of a missed extra point and a 4th and goal inside the 5. He beat the Broncos both times. Hats off to him. He got it done. If he wins, he's in. He can replace either the Colts or he could replace the Denver Broncos. So he's kind of that bubble team. Let's move into the NFC here. Enough of my rambling. I'm going to take a look. This is my number 1. Well, this will be my number 3 seed. Number 1 of Wild Card Weekend. Number 3, the Dallas Cowboys coach Triple Aries. Tripp is playing very good football as usual, back to his winning ways. His Dallas Cowboys are ranked number 20 in offense, but he has had some injuries, particularly in the quarterback area. He did lose Elliott. I'm not sure how long Elliott's out for, but he has the 20th ranked offense, and he has the 3rd ranked defense. The Cowboys defense in Madden is very good. Triple Aries is a very good owner. You put that together, and there you go. You have my winner of the NFC East, the Dallas Cowboys. You have your Mamza coming in, another owner that can play really, really good. He's peaking at the right time. The Falcons are ranked number 6 or number 8, I think, in offense, and 17 on defense. Now, the Falcons don't have a lot of talent per se at every position on defense, but your Mamza, much like the Steelers, he can, if he can get a few stops, he can get that football back into the hands of Matt Ryan. And you look at Matt Ryan, Ryan's having a fantastic year. 3,200 yards passing, 26 touchdowns. He's got Freeman coming out of the backfield with 1,300 yards, 15 touchdowns. You got your superstar, probably the best wide receiver in the game, Julio Jones, 1,300 yards. You just throw it up to him, let him do his thing. 13 touchdowns. And then you got KZ with 40 tackles and 5 picks. Don't turn the ball over if you're facing Atlanta, Tripp. He's going to score. Looking at Tripp's team, you got Dak Prescott, and then you also have Matthew Stafford. I'm not sure which one's going to be playing come playoff time, but Prescott is his leading passer with almost 1,900 yards, 9 touchdowns. And then you have Ezekiel Elliott, obviously all-world running back, 1,380 combined yards, 11 touchdowns. He is hurt. I'm not sure if he's going to be back. So that is probably, to me, the biggest injury on the Dallas Cowboys team and probably the biggest injury in the league right now from a playoff standpoint. Will Elliott be better? Will he be able to come back and lead this Dallas Cowboys team at home versus what will be a very tough Atlanta Falcons team? Amari Cooper, much like real life, Amari Cooper comes into Dallas and just proves he is a stud receiver. 1,389 yards receiving, 6 touchdowns. The guy's a freak. DeMarcus Lawrence, probably one of the better defensive ends in football. 27 tackles, 15 sacks. So, yeah, it's not Return of the Mac, Alpha. It's Return of the Lawrence in Dallas. He only has maybe half the sacks, but he's getting it done. This Dallas Cowboys team's playing very, very good. I think this game here is going to be a fantastic game if it pans out. Maybe this will be one that Brian and myself will have to broadcast. But this game has a lot of intrigue for me. I think it's 2 owners that are really good balance with each other, and to me, it's just going to be a fun game. So, moving into my last wild card game for this potential playoff. Mind you, it's week 16, guys. So if you look at the top, SBSL, it's our 93rd season as Soden Bowl, and it's my wild card weekend prediction. So these aren't set in stone yet. So my last game is the 9-5 Eagles, Jay Wood 13-13. Now, I had the pleasure of broadcasting the game with Jay Wood. He's got a lot of skill. He didn't come out on the winning end in that game, but he's played fantastic. He took over this Eagles team about 4 or 5 games ago, and he's done really good. He's 9-5. He's in contention for the division. I think Tripp's going to end up winning it. But I think with a whole season at his back, I think that he can really challenge Tripp for that division. I think he did beat Tripp too. So I've got the 9-5 Eagles traveling to one of my favorite guys in the league, Coach JMO 31. JMO with his Panthers are 10-5. I heard Big Al on the Huddle. Plug for the Huddle. Huddle's new episode 3 is out. Check it out on SBN. He mentions JMO in there, and like Big Al said, JMO is just one of these users. He can take any team, make them great. I believe he took the Bills to a Super Bowl in another league. So JMO getting it done. 10-5 with a Panthers team that is roster-wise. They do have Cam Newton. So Cam's good. Looking at the Panthers, they are ranked number 9 in offense and 12 in defense. So they're hanging around that middle of the pack there. His skills alone should be able to get him a potential victory here. Maybe even a Super Bowl contention. I mean, I can see a JMO going in and upsetting, Seattle and Taco and going from there. But, let's take a look back at this Eagles team. So we have Coach Jaywood 13-13. He's a new owner, rookie owner this year. He's doing really good. You look at Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz just went over 3,000 yards. He has 22 touchdowns on the year. He's got some wheels, too. We watched him against that Chicago defense. He almost had a 100-yard game versus the number 2 defense in the league. But he did get return to the max, as Brian would say. So, he didn't come out on top on that one. But Jaye, 1,601 yards of combined offense, 15 touchdowns. Yeah, he's got some weapons here. Golden Tate, 762 yards. I don't think he's going to get to 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns. But you look at his receivers, and I could have put just about anybody up there. They're all about the same. So he's spreading the ball out. And then you got Jenkins, 41 tackles, 6 interceptions, playing Pro Bowl-style football for that Eagles defense. The Eagles are 3-1 in their last 4 games. The Eagles have the number 11 ranked offense and the number 10 ranked defense. So hanging around the middle of the pack. Let his skills, decide games here. Don't make big mistakes and go from there. And then, back to the Panthers here. The Cam Newton with 3,600 yards, 26 touchdowns. McCaffrey, 721 yards, 9 touchdowns. Kind of a down year, I would say, for McCaffrey, because that's combined yards. To me, he's one of those best guys out of the backfield. I expected him to be probably about 500 to 600 yards receiving maybe by now, but hey, who am I? I'm the Denver Broncos, man. You look at what JMO's done. He's 10-5. He's got at least 1 to 2 games on me. So who am I to offer advice to him? But maybe you got Moore here. So he has 2 1,000-yard receivers already. Moore is his leading receiver with 11, 74, and 12 touchdowns. Just having a good year. And then Luke Kuechly, probably the best linebacker, I think, best middle linebacker in football. 59 tackles, 5 picks, getting it done. So this would be my last wild card weekend potential matchup here. I'd have the 10-4 Carolina Panthers led by JMO hosting the 9-6 Philadelphia Eagles and Coach Jaywood 13-13 looking for revenge. This could be another game that we might broadcast here. If this pans out the way that it looks like it may, this would be a hell of a game to broadcast. So with that said, that's my wild card weekend. I have Denver traveling to Oakland. I have Indy traveling to Pittsburgh. I have Atlanta coming to Dallas. And I have Philly coming to Carolina. And then my buys. I have the Jacksonville Jaguars, guys. That's my number 1 team in the league right now. I've got the Jaguars, and I have the Miami Dolphins sitting at home awaiting the results of these 2 AFC games. And then in the NFC, I have Taco and his Seattle Seahawks. And then I have that number 2 defense in Crowd Pleaser 90 with the Bears, both awaiting the NFC teams to play. So to me, this is a playoff that I think anybody in this playoff, from the last wild card team to to Alpha's Jags, any one of these teams can go to the Super Bowl and win it. And that's what I like to see. I like to see the parity in Sim League. I think Jay Cork said it best this week. He said that he really likes the parity in here because, 1 week you can come in and be dominated by a Broncos defense, the next week you just torch them and the Broncos lose. Or, you look at J-Court. J-Court can come in and he can beat anybody. He can take Alpha out, can take You're Blessed out, Taco, any of them. So to me, the parity in the league's good, except for maybe Dr. Gloomsburg and his winless Cardinals. But he's playing for a draft pick and he's new, so don't kill me, Rob. But yeah, that's all I've got for you guys tonight. So this is my playoff lineup here. We do have some open teams. So actually, before I let you go, Raging Cajun Nacho had to step down. He just said he's just not feeling the game anymore. So he stepped down with a very good Baltimore Ravens team. They are potential. They're really close to the playoffs here. So he stepped down. So I have the Baltimore Ravens open right now. I think they're like 10-5, 9-6 maybe. I'm not sure, but it's a really good roster. He did a good job with him. It's tough to see him go. I like Raging a lot. And then the other team that we have open, I think we have one more open. I'd have to look at my notes for that. We have the New Orleans Saints. Coach Crow, he's still playing. Coach Crow has a little bit of a couple medical issues that he needs to take care of. That's going to require some time away from Madden. So his New Orleans Saints, who had another good year, I think Drew Brees is going to retire. But aside from Drew Brees retiring and Tom Brady retiring, that team led by Drew Brees is a very, very good roster. Great offense, great ground attack. So, if you're out there, you want to get in the league, I've got 2 openings right now. Go to that Soden Bowl page, go to the welcome page, and just, register for the league. If you can follow rules, you're a sim player, you like content, come check us out, because we're really looking for about 3 to 4, maybe 5 core owners that that are going to be here with us for Madden 20, and then go from there. So guys, come grab these 2 open teams, 2 very good teams, and be a part of one of the fastest growing Madden leagues on the internet right now. We're on fire, guys. Hats off to Big Al, guys. If you like listening to a podcast while maybe you're driving to work or something, The Huddle, episode 3, fantastic job by Big Al. And then Alpha's Unfiltered. I think he's still on episode 2. I believe he's got an episode 3 coming out here soon, but you can find them all on SBN. You go over to YouTube. You go to youtube.com/c/Soden Bowl. Brings you right in. There's your SBN. You get myself. You get you get the SBN every Thursday night. You have the bi-weekly show with The Huddle and Big Al. And then you got Alpha's Unfiltered. And oh, by the way, we broadcast football games too. 2 broadcast teams, and we just get it done, guys. So if you want to get in on some of this stuff, if you're out there and you're an aspiring broadcaster, streamer, whatever it may be, send me an email. There's a contact us part of the website. Shoot me a message. You can get me on Twitter. My Twitter, the Soden Bowl Twitter is super easy. It's Soden_Bowl_19. If you can't find me, you're doing something wrong, because we're all over the place here, guys. SodenBowl.com, our website. Like I said, if you want to get into some of these broadcasts, you want to get your name out there. Big Al and Alpha, I mean, these guys are averaging 1,000 views per episode that these guys put out. That's just crazy to me. They're doing a great job. Their Twitch pages are doing fantastic. So if you want to get your name out there, you want to be a part of something cool, something that's started up and that's going to continue through Madden 20 and grow, shoot me a line. We'll get you on air. We'll set you up with a show. We'll do whatever it takes to help promote your product and our Soden Bowl product, and go from there. So with that said, I'm out of here, guys. Have a good night. Get your games in. Week 16, moving to 17 here soon. And that's it, guys. Take care.